Hello, my name is Adham and I'm a member of Attended Club STEM Schools. My talk is going to be about fear. So the story starts from here. The 1st of September 2018, one of the hardest days of my life. The day I had to make the hardest decision I have ever took. I was going to leave my home, my friends, my family, and most importantly, my comfort zone, in order to join a boarding school where I knew absolutely nobody. So about 13 hours before I had to leave, I was so terrified of not knowing what is going to happen in the future, or if this was even the right choice for me. I doubted myself too much that I ended up wasn't sure if I wanted to take that step anymore. Aside from that, I want to mention a really great quote by Trevor Regan. We learn best when we operate at the edge of our abilities and a little bit outside of our comfort zone. So today I want to focus on sort of a different angle many people tend to forget, which is why we don't like getting out of our comfort zone. In fact, if you dig into the research behind our learning and development, you will find that one of the biggest hurdles to become a better learner is fear. And luckily, anybody can learn to overcome fear. It is a skill that all of us can develop. However, the way we do that is actually much, much different than you might think. But in order to do this, we need to ask ourselves three very important questions. What is fear? Where does it come from? And why do we even feel fear? So fear can be categorized into two main categories. Innate fears, which means we are born with them, and we all tend to share these same fears. In fact, babies are born with only two fears, the fear of being dropped and the fear of loud noises. Then you might ask me, what about the fear of public speaking or confrontation, or even the fear of failure? If we weren't born with them, does this mean we have acquired them? In fact, that is exactly what it means. This is the second type of fear, acquired fear. We have two innate fears, and yet every other fear we have is based on our reaction to a certain experience we faced in the past. So does anyone have any idea what this film is? This is the highest grossing horror film, It. Now you might be thinking, what is the relation between this film and what I'm talking about? In fact, the acquired fear that's seen the biggest increase in recent years is called chlorophobia, which is a fear of clowns. And the reason behind that is that we have learned to associate something which was once quite harmless with someone who eats children. So this links with our fear of dying, so we start to develop a phobia towards it. So if fear is such a common thing between each and every one of us, then where does it come from? It's actually wired inside of us. It's come from a part of the brain called the amygdala. And it's known by psychologists as the lizard brain. The lizard brain is actually prehistoric. It has been there for thousands and thousands of years. It is there to keep us alive. It is there for our survival. And it does that by constantly generating fear to steer us away from danger. So let's say, for example, you are walking on the road and suddenly a snake comes out of nowhere. What is the first thing do? Do you keep walking or you run away? Of course you run away. And why is that? That is the lizard brain in play. It is quick and reactive. It detects a threat, generates fear, you run away. Now, the lizard brain is excellent at its job. However, there is a small glitch to the system. The glitch is the lizard brain can't really differentiate between the good challenges and the dangerous ones. So it just avoids them altogether. 4 triggers that really enhances and creates fear, the feeling of fear inside of us. Attention, doubt, struggle, and change. If these 4 elements are present, fear will be present. Now, I believe we all agree that these elements easily describe a dangerous situation. Nevertheless, they are also present at the best learning opportunities. Procrastination in a big way is coming from the lizard brain. For example, when you have a homework to do, you got 2 choices. Either you do the homework or you watch TV. And what do most of us do? We watch TV. But why do you think this happens? Because through the eyes of the lizard brain, the world is black or white. It doesn't really know what we are doing. In its eyes, it's always, I can struggle right now or I cannot struggle. And it's always going to choose not to struggle. Now, this software is exceptional for keeping us safe. But at the same time, it robs us from many learning opportunities to grow. Now let's slow down a little bit and let me ask you a very important question. When has fear last robbed you from an opportunity where you would experience something new? Although answers may vary, but I believe we can all relate to this question in some sort of another. I learned about this topic from one of my absolute heroes, Tess Godin. So while I was researching about the topic, I stumbled upon this question: how do you kill the lizard brain, or how to conquer the lizard brain? And his response completely changed my life. He said, I'm thrilled you asked the question this way, because that is exactly the wrong question. If you want to bargain or conquer the lizard brain, you will ultimately fail. However, there is only one way or one thing you can do. It's dance with the lizard brain. You should take it as a compass. Whenever it freaks out, it tells you that you're onto something. And you should listen to it by doing the exact opposite of what it wants us to do. Now, in the past, I used to tell myself to not be afraid of something or encourage myself. And now that I understand how fear works and where it comes from, I believe that there are two main problems with that approach. One, I'm telling myself to do something impossible, because if I do anything that involves change or struggle or doubt or attention, fear will be present whether I like it or not. Second, which is the most important one, this can create shame and it can make your fear even worse. Now let's say you are 10 minutes away from your dream job interview and you are feeling very terrified. So you might be thinking that there is something wrong or you didn't even prepare well. However, this all lies back to one thing, which is the wrong idea of I'm not supposed to feel fear. The big upgrade that I want to reach to you guys is that feeling fear before anything that challenges us, or before a job interview, for example, it is normal and it only happens because we are humans. Now, with the old approach, you might be thinking that the presence of fear means something is wrong. But with the new approach, it only means that we are humans. So I want to mention this quote because it has had a huge impact on my life. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. So to continue on the story I was telling at the beginning of the talk earlier, I actually ended up going to that school. And it was, well, one of the hardest and the best decisions I've ever taken in my entire life. And I ended up learning so much more than I could have ever imagined. So the moral of the story here is feeling fear is normal, but you should never let that fear stand in the way of reaching your dreams. And I hope I have helped you in overcoming your fears. Thank you.